So start making preparations now for those sort of things. Start right now talking with your wife, talk with your husband, sit down and talk about what you're going to do to try to help your family out, and then start figuring it out from there.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, oh, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, oh, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see.
So as many of you know, we live on our family's beef cattle farm here. Very blessed to be in the situation that we're in. And in this situation, cutting firewood and such, sometimes my father-in-law comes across the tree that's dead in his field. He drags it up where it's really easy for me to work up, which makes very handy. And I'm going to show you guys this tree. I don't have a clue what it is. I'm not good at that stuff. I never have been. I've cut firewood and used firewood most of my life, and I still can't tell you what most of it is. I mean, generally, usually, right, like some simple stuff I can, but and this one's probably simple for you guys, but I'll show you guys what this is, and you can comment down below and let me know. So there's not really anything for bark on it. As you can kind of tell, all the bark is pretty much gone off of it. It doesn't split hard. I mean, it's not too hard to split. I'd say relatable to oak, right? But it's very pretty, whatever it is. Lots of reds and purples in it. So comment below if you know that's the closest thing to bark I could know to find for you. It's very smooth, very, very smooth on the outside, and that is the color of the wood on the inside. And then here is maybe a round piece, so you can see very white on the edges and a very deep red, almost purple on the middle of it. Because I can't tell you what kind of wood it is, but it's always fun to know, and it's something that I need to learn, especially to help me grow not just in wood. One of these days I'd really like to get a bandsaw sawmill, Lord willing, one of these days, to mostly just to mill up our own stuff. But maybe it's something that Bo, our little one, maybe it's something he could use for some extra money, or something we might be able to use for some extra money here and there, to help for those unexpected bills that come up. You know what I mean? Something like that anyway. But anyhow, it would be interesting to know that, and for mushroom hunting, because if you know what kind of trees you've got around you, I can usually spot an elm, those kinds of things, then you know what kind of mushrooms like those kinds of trees. Be something good to know. So now we're on to splitting some of this mystery firewood, whatever it is. Real pretty stuff. It doesn't split too bad. I've split some of it already. My chainsaw, I must have nicked it on my last time I used it, because it was cutting pretty hard at an angle today. I need to work on that chain a little bit. But let's talk about this beef issue coming up. According to this article that I will show you. Here in this article, they talk about beef prices being, or beef herds being the lowest they've been since 1962. They had to take most of their herds to the slaughter. Which you would think that prices of beef would have went down when they did that, but of course it did not. And the declining supplies are expected to continue for the next 3 years. As you can see from this part of the article, it says that there'll be no meaningful progress till at least 2025. Therefore, the price of stuff is going to only continue to rise. According to this article, livestock herds of beef cattle, are smaller now than they've been in a long, long time. Now, I'm not very smart, but I'm guessing there's more people here today than there was in the 1960s. And if there's more people here today than there was in the 1960s, our livestock herds need to be bigger, not smaller. Which means, according to this article, there'll be no relief at the grocery store till at least 2025. So, Now that you know what the secular world is telling us, we know the Bible tells us that famines are only going to increase the closer we get to the return of Christ. And since the Bible teaches it, first and foremost, and now the secular world is reporting on it, seems like it would make sense to prepare for what is sure to come. And what's sure to come is beef shortages, which equals food shortages, which equals higher prices at the grocery store. And so now you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to start raising beef yourself to butcher? Maybe have a buddy come over and you guys split the beef and you work on it to butcher together? Are you going to start raising alternative livestock? If you can't do that, are you going to reach out to your local farmer around you some way, somehow, and try to figure out a way to work out a deal to get some beef? Or maybe you can get it a little cheaper than what you're going to buy at the grocery store. I'm going to have to figure something out, because I don't know about y'all, but I can't continue to afford the prices that they're charging at the grocery store, not including the meat glue and all the other nonsense that we have talked about before. And so seems like it would be wise to prepare for those things. Not just because the Bible teaches it and the secular world seems to be showing it now, but also remember the video that I just put out. I put it out this morning. I thought I'd get it out yesterday, and it just got too late before I was able to edit it and all that kind of stuff. But one of the ways the UN says that you as a personal individual can help save the planet, get your carbon footprint down, is by eating more vegetables. Well, I don't know about y'all, I like vegetables, I really do. And one of the things I like about greens that grow is that they feed beef cattle so that I can eat beef. I don't like just vegetables. I like to have some good meat too. A meal without meat is just a snack at best, is what I have said my whole life. And so if they are going to really push not eating meat, do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible that a meat shortage is on purpose and not by accident and not just by happenstance? That's just a tinfoil hat wearing side of me. Either way, it's coming. Either way, it's happening right now. And it's not actually coming, it's already here. Either way. So start making preparations now for those sort of things. Start right now talking with your wife, talk with your husband, sit down and talk about what you're going to do to try to help your family out, and then start figuring it out from there. Most of all, make sure that you know the Lord, because all the T-bone steaks, all the sirloin steaks, all the ribeyes, all the hamburger ain't going to save you. It's not going to save you. One of these days, them skies over my shoulder, they're going to split wide open, and when they do, it's not going to matter then. All that's going to matter is whether or not you have walked by the Spirit of God and not by the flesh, that you have been saved and born again, that you know Jesus Christ as your Savior, you have put your trust, your hope, your life in Him, that you have not sought to save your own life, but that you have died in a lot of ways and always to serving Him. That's what will matter. In Romans it says that we are to give ourselves a living sacrifice. This is our reasonable duty, right? That's all that's going to matter. So, all the preparedness in the world ain't going to save you from a devil's hell. However, I do think it's wise to prepare for the shortages that are to come. And this is just to warn you guys about those shortages that are to come. And hopefully that you will see the world around you and read and understand that the Bible is true, the Bible is right, and that you need to place your faith in God immediately, trusting in His Son that came and died on a cross and resurrected the third day, that we may be saved. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.